Morice Norris on the lines. He took a glancing blow to the head, immediately went down, exhibited this fencing response where basically his arm stuck straight out. It's basically caused by transient mechanical stimulation of the brain cell circuits, and it signifies a pretty significant head injury. Immediately after that, the stretcher crew came out there. A lot of people get super concerned because the player's on the ground for a while. This is standard protocol to make sure that the spine is stable. There's no red flag symptoms of a severe spinal cord injury that would make it worse for them to transfer him immediately. But it's not necessarily something that's super concerning, even though the head injury is very concerning. But just the protocol for evaluating them is always going to look the same. So just because they're out there for a while doesn't mean it's a bad thing. They're just going through their regular protocol. Aside from a nervous exam, basically where they check lower extremity and upper extremity function to see if there's any signs of a spinal cord injury, they also have to check to see what the need of a brain CT is. And they don't have access to brain CT on the field. So we use a standardized test score to see whether there's an absolute need for a CT. Basically, you check the age if they're over 16 years, if they're on blood thinners, if they had seizure-like activity after the injury, which Norris did. He immediately exhibited some mild signs of seizure-like activity. So immediately right there, that's a yes, and they know that they're going to need to take him to the hospital. Going to the hospital isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just they have better capabilities there where they can do advanced brain imaging. Some other stuff they look at is the Glasgow Coma Scale, which is the GCS score, and that shows if you're opening your eyes appropriately, if you're responding to instructions appropriately. And then they also see if there's a suspected brain skull fracture. So they'll feel around the scalp, they'll see if there's any bruising underneath the eyes or behind the ears called raccoon sign or battle sign. Any kind of amnesia to the event if they're conscious and able to answer questions, or depending on the mechanism if it's extremely dangerous. Overall, very scary injury for Norris, but luckily reports seem good. It seems like he is stable, and I would expect to see him back out there on the field this season for the Lions. Now, last of all, let's touch on Tyjae Spears, and he unfortunately was he was killing it in training camp preseason. There's high hopes for him. He ended up having a high ankle sprain where he was carted off the field. We've talked before about how high ankle sprains are different than low ankle sprains, and high ankle sprains require a prolonged period of complete immobilization as well as reduced weight bearing in a boot, possibly with crutches. So with these high ankle sprains, it basically affects not these lower ligaments, but it affects the higher ligaments that are holding the tibia and the fibula together that are highlighted right. Now, the absence for NFL players that are in skill positions for high ankle sprains are about 4 to 6 weeks. We've seen them return back sooner, around 2 to 3 weeks in some situations, but I would expect 4 weeks absence here, and that puts Spears at risk for missing week 1. In my draft kit analysis, I've tacked a mild grade concern for him, once again, which means I'm dropping him about half round to 1 round.